think they have to be true to their initial impulse to make the movie or tell the story that they have. And they have to start with that and preserve that. Because as they go down the road, it's going to get pushed and pulled in a lot of different directions. So they need their home base. For some people, that's the script. For other people, it might be the treatment. It could also be the poster for the movie, that they could make that right away, and then that becomes sort of an image that, for the time being, helps guide their path. The other thing is to think really down the road, and this is the hardest thing, the business aspect, which is, I'm going to spend a certain amount of money to make this project and tell this story. How am I going to make that money back? And what are my expectations? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this to further my career? Then that's one thing. Then I want to spend as little money as possible because I'm not going to make it. If I'm going out there trying to make the next big blockbuster, that's a really bad expectation to start out with, but you've got to handle that differently. So I think it's about being true to that initial impulse and not losing sight of that. It's very important.
Do you think that the aspect of the passion project is still something that people should stay with? Or is that nowadays, I hear people telling me, well, if you're going to make a passion project, good luck, Hope you make it and spend your own money.
Well, on one hand, I would say there is nothing but passion projects when you think about it. That if a filmmaker, whether they're making, an independent film about their own little neighborhood, or even Iron Man, that there's passion attached to that. And if there isn't, it's not going to be good. So it depends on the motivation that serves as the source of that passion that probably separates the successful from the unsuccessful producer.
Is there something that you see with people that you meet that gives you an inkling that there's something here versus, so this is just like everything else I've seen from your experience?
You mean from the films or from the people that I meet?
From the people.
Just this little sampling. There's people that I've met who are actresses. Well, there's a lot of actresses in Los Angeles. But then there's also people that I've met who've said that they've made 3 films and that they've been formally nominated before, etc., those kinds of things. So there is a range, of people that you see here that have different degrees of credibility. And that's true of any group. But what's interesting about this group is the region that it represents is fascinating to me, and I think I've been told that my name is Hungarian, so I sort of feel I have an attachment.
That is something that I think that some, especially American filmmakers may have lost. I think sometimes there is something that has to be personal about their films, and sometimes we're trying to create stories that are so separate from ourselves that maybe that's where sometimes we're going a little wrong. I'm asking because I'm not sure.
I think we're dealing with an emotional industry. It's all about the heart. And if it doesn't work here, it's not going to work anywhere else. There's, even if it has to do with an action film or genre film, it's visceral. And that's what makes it work for people. So some way or another, it's going to map back to an emotional response.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure.
That was... All right.